Welcome to the Nurse Power Podcast. I'm Meisha Mia.
And I'm Dr. Nicole Thomas.
And we're Biz Besties,
who created the Nurse Power Network to change the narrative of nurses and help them show up in their ugly truths and make power moves.
All while balancing life, love, and family. I'm Meisha Mia.
I am Dr. Nicole Thomas. And we are the founders of the Nurse Power Network.
Yes, welcome to the Nurse Power Podcast.
I am super excited, Meisha.
Me too.
Season 2. Can you believe it?
Let's get it.
Look, I can't believe that we're literally back for another season.
I know.
It has been a hell of a year. A lot has happened since the last time we sat down to do this. A lot of things just in the world, period.
Yes,
I would say.
busy world.
Yeah.
A busy world.
Definitely in the healthcare industry. So many different, I don't want to call them scandals, but just different things that have come out that has been interesting.
It's been interesting, y'all.
So today, I definitely want us to talk about one of the things that has definitely been going on a lot that I've seen a lot of that I think it's a great thing, but I also think it's a thing that our community needs to learn some of the ins and outs of, which is nurses wanting more. But what does that look like, right, in the tangible sense? And also, what are some things that nurses should be really and truly watching out for as they start to go out here and get there more, especially in these new Instagram streets?
Right. And really, what does it even... Not only what does it look like, but what does it even feel like before you get to the space? Like, how do you know you want more?
Yeah.
Like, nurses, a lot of y'all are tuning in and, you're at a point where you want more than nursing, but what does that even feel like to even know? Like, yeah, I'm not tripping. I feel like as nurses, we have a guilt trip about wanting something else.
Yeah.
It's a guilt trip. So it's often hard to identify that you even want something else.
Yeah. I'll definitely say, just for me and how I was able to identify I wanted more, right? Than just being a nurse, was me being able to show up to work, do my job to the best of the ability that I could at that time, but still having this sense of this ain't it.
Yeah.
This ain't no way that this can be all that this is supposed to be, right? And feeling like I wasn't tapping into those other areas of Nicole, those other things that made Nicole, and starting to get lost in the identity of I'm a nurse, right? But I'm so much more than just a nurse. I am a amazing builder. I love building different projects. I also have my creative lane and my creative side about me. I think I'm a fake Martha Stewart in the interior design department. But all of those other different things that I like that I just felt like I wasn't tapping into. And so for me, it was really and truly, starting to hate what I was doing, if I'm being honest with you, to make me say that I needed to feed other elements of me and not just think that everything had to be about the title of being a nurse.
Yes.
But feeding those other elements that make me a person, that make me a holistic person from a 360-degree perspective. Nicole the daughter, Nicole the sister, Nicole the friend, Nicole the mom, Nicole the wife, girlfriend at the time when I was going through that. But what does that really and truly look like? So that's what really and truly got me on my journey of saying that I wanted more and starting that journey to get more, but doing it in an authentic way that was still deep rooted to who I was as a person. So for me, growing up, I was always the kid that, when things would go on at church, they had a fish fry after Sunday service or whatever, I would always want to be right there when they had the health component of it. I'm doing the teaching, things like that. The teacher would always call home and say, Miss Helen, Nicole is a good student, but let her know I'm the teacher. She's a student. I'm only here to teach my class, right? So it was really and truly me being able to take those different pieces of little Nicole that really and truly were the bigger makeup of bigger Nicole, right? And how can I marry the two to really and truly go after the more that was ordained for me, not nobody else, but for me on my journey.
That makes sense.
So that's what it looked like for me. I think that everybody's more, or their knowing that they want more or that there is more, looks different, because for some people they look at your more and we're going to get into this.
Yeah, we got a lot to unpack.
But they look at your more and they think that your more is their version of this is my more too, but it's different. Which is why when they go out to start getting their more, it doesn't work because you chasing a dream or you chasing a more that doesn't even align with who you were intended to be. You get what I'm saying? But that's a whole different conversation we're going to get into.
We'll get there.
But, you know, just going back to it, that was the start of me knowing there is more. There's more to Nicole from a holistic perspective.
Now, how long, now I know we say going back, but roughly how long were you a nurse before you got to the space of like, this ain't it?
I graduated nursing school from the Southern University. I graduated there in 2005, got my very first job ever at the best charity type hospital, and I worked there probably until like 2007 ish. It was honestly within those first 2 years. It was it was not long before I was like, nah, it's more to it than just this. Like, this is good, this is cool. And don't get me wrong, I do not want to downplay the gift of me being a nurse, because one thing about it, I can nurse, right? I'm a beast at being a nurse, right? So don't get me wrong, I absolutely positively love it, but it didn't take me long to realize that it was an evolution that can go along with that nursing journey. So I would say it was probably from 2005 to 2007. That's when I realized, like, nah, what an evolution is. Let me start this journey.
Girl, listen, I can relate. Yeah. I feel you. I mean, when I remember, I was like year 2 out of nursing school, working, saying there's got to be more. I tell people I was going through the 3 Bs that really made me say I wanted more than nursing. I was broke. I was bored. I mean, I loved nursing, y'all. I love it now. I'm still at the bedside, labor and delivery. Shout out to all the mamas. But I love what I do. Like you said, like, can't nobody tell me I can't do what I do. I love this, like, to the core, and which is why I'm still very passionate about it. But by the second year, I was bored in a sense of not the nursing, but just the impact.
Yeah.
Right. And like I said, the nursing was great, but it was like, can you go bigger? And I always tell people, impact is so addictive. You're always looking for more. And if you're really nursing from a core passion place, you're always looking like, how can I make this expand? How can I make this more? So the boredness was just the fact that I wanted more.
Yeah.
I was trying to make it grander.
That's a good way to explain it.
I was trying to figure out, how can I make this bigger and better?
Yeah.
Like, I want the upgraded version of what I'm doing. What can I do? And that's how I got into travel nursing. And it really expanded me to make huge impact. Very big impact. And then the other B, what was it? It was broke. Oh my God. $25 an hour, y'all. But that was some good money back then. Yeah. Shout out to new grads. You know, that money, I was playing Soldier Boy every morning. I woke up for work and getting money. I just knew I made it.
I jump out that bed.
Yes. That's how I was feeling every morning going to work. But you know, it didn't take long for me to realize, girl, you need more money. And so that did it for me. The other one was really just brokenhearted. I was going through a rough relationship, and I was like, I can just go on. And I remember talking to another nurse. She's like, every nurse I know have a breakup and they just find another way to level up their career. But I think that's all black women. A black woman can go through a breakup, and you look up, she done graduated Harvard. She got a bachelor's, a PhD, a doctorate, and she just closed on her 4th home. Don't play with her. You know, we will level up. Yeah. So that's basically what it was. So that's the 3 Bs for me that really made me tap into my what's next for me, and just knowing that I wanted more. And I'm glad I was in this space, and I'm sure this is where we're going to go to in this conversation, but I'm really glad I was in that space before social media.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I feel so sorry for my babies that are out here, and I say my babies, and I mean my sisters and my colleagues, my peers of nursing, who are in this exact space that me and Nicole have discussed in a world right now that is full of so much. It's so much, so much. Like, you know, like
it's challenging.
That makes it 10 times harder to know how to move and how to, and it makes it challenging to know if you're listening to your own voice or you're listening to someone else's voice.
Yeah.
And so I'm just grateful that everything I went through happened in a time where everything wasn't recorded.
Yeah.
And everyone wasn't selling a coaching program.
Everybody. Like everybody.
Okay.
Everybody's selling one.
Everybody's selling a coaching program now. So I'm just grateful because that's a really tricky, vulnerable space for anyone to be in where they're looking for more.
Yeah.
And you know what happens when someone is desperate, looking for more.
They look in all the wrong places.
They do. They really do.
And they don't really know what to look for because they don't even know what they should be looking for, right? And so one of the things that you said in that was that impact. You know how I feel about impact.
Yes. Okay.
When you talk about impact, what does impact look like for you in your more? And the reason I ask it that way for you and emphasis on you is because what I find right now, especially in the age of social media, which you just got finished talking about, the identity of what works for me is getting lost, right? Yes, I should look at best practices. Yes, I should look at evidence, right? We in healthcare, we know how that goes, evidence-based practices. So I'm not saying that we should not look at models and look at frameworks, but that does not mean that it's going to be cookie cutter just specifically for me. You get what I'm saying? So when you think about that, what does impact look like for you?
For me, the impact and the drive that I got to even want to go further was the fact that I wanted to reach more. When I look at impact, it's about the service and how many people I can serve it. And especially when, here's the thing, you have quality and you get your quality of nursing care and quality outcomes basically through your evidence base, as we've mentioned. So once you've sort of, I want to say mastered, right? The art of giving quality care. The next thing is how many more people you can, it's about duplicating your framework. It's about duplicating your service. So once you've been that nurse for that patient, you're trying to see how many more you can be that girl for. Like I'm trying to be that girl. So put me worldwide. That's how I felt. I'm like, no, I got to go bigger.
I'm worldwide.
I'm worldwide. I'm worldwide. Google me. Like I'm worldwide. I'm that girl. And so that's what impact for me is about. It's not about numbers in a vanity perspective, but numbers in a sense of service. Like impact. How many lives are you truly changing?
And that you can really and truly measure.
Yeah, you can measure. And that's what I'm saying. You can
measure.
Measure the change in which you're truly changing lives. Like, I don't need measured followers. I'm trying to measure lives changed, transformations. That's the type of impact I get. You know, followers don't give me that kind of impact. I need to see what you're doing. What have I helped you accomplish?
And I'll definitely add to that. You know, I agree with everything that you said, but you know, in addition to that, for me, impact is also creating a pipeline. You know, I talk about my pipeline all the time,
y'all. Right? Yes, now she's a pipeline girl.
It's creating that pipeline of continual flow. When you think about a water hose and the water is continually feeding from the main source, pumping out to supply whatever the area that the water is supposed to go into, right? That's that pipeline. So when I think about that in terms of impact, I want to make sure that I'm impacting other individuals that's positioning them to be able to win, because the reality of it is, I don't know when I'm going to need to double back. You get what I'm saying? I don't know when I need to double back for you to be able to help elevate whatever it is that I'm doing, right? So we can even put this in a sense of money. I want to show you authentically and realistically how to make more money than me.
Right.
Because a lot of people, I want to show you how to make money, but I don't want to show you how to make more than me.
Of course not.
Right.
You know,
but I want you to,
because
because I don't know where my journey of life of building is getting ready to take me in my next level of creating impact, where I need to double back and say, listen, I need an investor. I know this sister over here, she got it, she making it. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because I've helped to cultivate that impact within her to where she's now able to go and build and make, you know, millions and all these different things. But that's what it means for me, creating essentially a funding source, so to speak. And not, when I say funding, it's not always just funding of money.
Yeah, funding.
Right? It's funding of prayers. It's funding of support. It's funding of resources. It's funding of, girl, get your stuff together.
And everything.
It's funding of holding me accountable. All of those different things. And so that's what it looks like for me when I talk about impact. And that's the part that I think when we talk about wanting more and nurses wanting more and them starting that, identifying that first, right? And going on that journey to say, what does more look like for me and how do I realistically build this more? And looking, unfortunately, to social media. And I don't want to say unfortunately, because let's be honest, social media can be a very powerful, amazing tool, right? If it's used intentionally and with a plan and strategically. But there's so many times, more often than less, and I'm sure you can probably attest to that, that it's not used for that. And so, you know, my thing to nurses that are wanting more, that is looking to social media, it's okay to look to social media for more, but make sure you know what exactly you're looking for and vet what you're looking for. And don't just think that just because that's what they're telling you that that's what it is. Okay? Yeah.
Reference check. The same way your employers reference check you and make sure you're legit, you have to make sure the people that you are turning to are legit. Because
okay, so you say reference check. What does that look like tangibly? If I am a nurse, I want more, and you're telling me check your references, what are some things specifically I should be checking in that reference?
Let's say you're trying to hire, I'll say a social media coach.
Okay.
Let's use a social media coach, right? One way you can check their references is you want to see who they've worked with, first of all. You always want to see who they've worked with. You can always ask them for a personal reference, right? One thing I believe personally, people going to share bad news before they share good news.
Yeah, that's very true.
So if you are really in a vetting process of trying to do more than nursing, check the references of someone else this person that you're considering has worked with. Somewhere along the line, even if they don't tell you the whole truth about it not working, they're going to give you some red flags and signs that maybe this is not a good fit. Maybe this is not a good idea, right? Or they'll give you some green flags and letting you know, like, okay, this is a great idea. This is just what you're looking for. But you've got to talk to other people than the source, because of course they're going to tell you they got what you need. They want you to buy it.
They want you to buy it.
They want you to buy it. No doubt. So I think we just have to be more cautious instead of just taking the word of the source and actually look at the environment around them and actually check those receipts versus just listening to the direct source. Another thing is Google reviews. If they have those listed companies under Google, people write Google reviews. Facebook groups, oh my God. Now you can literally do a search in Facebook and it'll give you the option to see groups. So some of these groups may tell you, you know, what to, you know, steer away from. But it's definitely hard. Discernment is hard.
And I'll definitely add to that, you know, in doing that reference check when you're on your journey to more, right? As a nurse, whatever more is specifically for you, you also too have to study the character of people.
Character, right? Is powerful.
And when I say the character, I don't mean, oh, they're a nice person. Oh, she's sweet. Oh, she does amazing things because she posts them on social media and the pictures are pretty. Oh, her bag is pretty. I don't care about that. When I say character, and this is where it takes time, right? Don't automatically jump in bed per se with the first person that's willing to help you on that journey of more. don't be so desperate as to say, oh, yep, one and done, now I want to go and I want them to help me. Really and truly start to cultivate and build a relationship with them and learn, how do they treat people?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do they go about talking about people? If you're talking about your past clients, your past person you done did this with, you best believe they're going to do the same thing to you.
Some people I done sat down with, and I know more of other people's business than them people even think I know. You know what I mean?
How do you treat people that you perceive that have less than you?
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? Get to the character of the person, because the reality of it is those are the things that are going to matter when times get rough on your journey of becoming more, because it's going to come rough. It is. It's not a cakewalk. I failed in so many different areas along my journey of becoming more, whether that was financially, whether that was personally, professionally. I've had it all happen, right? But it was the character of those different things that kept me going, and the character of the mentors, of the coaches, all of those different people that I had around me.
Exactly. That
it was deeper than them. Oh, she's sweet. She's a nice person. That's good. I'm happy she's good and she's sweet, but I don't care about that. Like that. Being good and sweet and nice don't get me results. No. I don't care about that. And so that's another thing for me in looking for people.
Or popularity.
Or popularity.
Oh my God.
That's another thing that on my journey of becoming more, I don't care if you're not a nice person. I really, really don't. You do not. And when I say nice, I mean in a term of warm and fuzzy. I'm a Southern girl. I have Southern hospitality. So I'm a hugger. I'm all of those different things. But it may be somebody, and I've met people like this before, they're just not warm, fuzzy, nice people, but they get to business. I don't have time for New Yorkers.
New Yorkers will not
Let's get to the business, right? And I've seen so many people trick themselves out of their spots to learn to become more because the person wasn't warm and fuzzy. Now, I'm not talking about somebody who just rude. That's not what I'm saying, because you know the social media streets or whoever's listening to this will come for me. That is not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that they don't need to be all warm and fuzzy. Do they have good morals? Do they have good ethics? And are they about helping you to truly and really and truly get to the space where you're wanting to go?
Yeah.
That's what I mean by that. But you said something that we got to talk about, is this popularity, because I'm sick of this.
Yeah, popularity is really ruining it for the girls. I feel like most of the community, the nursing culture, is more attached to the popularity than they are the true substance. The true substance is watered down. Of course, we know that. But popularity, you'll run to it. Get upset though when you get tricked out your spot, because you might not get the results you want.
Right.
But it was the popular thing to do.
Yeah.
It was the popular person to work with.
So let me ask you this. Why do you think that, so historically, you know, when you think about popularity and those type of things, I normally think about like, you know, middle school or high school. You wanted to be with the in crowd, the popular crowd. You wanted to be with the it girls or the it guys or whatever, right? But as you continue to grow and mature and go through your journey in life, you kind of start to realize that ain't all what it's cracked up to be. But we still find adults getting into these spaces and places of following popularity. Why do you think that still happen even as adults?
Lack of self-awareness. And I was that girl. I considered myself fairly popular on the social media streets at one time. And I digressed and pulled back intentionally, because I started to realize this is not what I'm going for. I don't care to be popular.
Yeah.
I want to be paid. I want to be purposeful. I want to be intentional. I want to be righteous. But I do not want to be popular. And so I had to tread back from the whole social media influencers ordeal, because to me it's a very misled space to run for. And now I could care less. My last post might have 30 likes on it. I don't care. I could see when that was so important to me. I do not care. I am really worried about more authentic and intentional operations in real life.
In real life, because what you girls have to understand about the whole popularity chase on social media, most of them people are crying at home by themselves. Their bills ain't paid.
Not her bills ain't paid. I'm not kidding. Now, what I will say, when I worked in the PR life years ago, I met so many big influencers and things of that nature who would really be sleeping in their car and or not have this, that, or the third, or asking can they stay with you, or they need a ride, like basically just in a space of struggle. But they were popular.
Yeah.
But I believe their ego or their lack of awareness made them chase the popularity and not actually getting into a safe space. They were so busy chasing that popularity that they should have been focused on getting their house, car, keeping their finances together. No, popularity becomes like an ego that you have to constantly feed. And so at any given point, you're going to crash. You're going to realize this ain't it. And for all nurse girls who are really influencers, my real prayer is that you're able to separate from the IG space and the reality, because it's not real. And we have to just disconnect from that. I'm so focused on being in real life. I am so just in a different space, and I'm loving it. It's so much better mentally. It's better mentally.
It's a lot better mentally.
Mentally is so much better, y'all. I don't care about the social media stuff no more. I just don't.
I kind of never did, but definitely don't. So I'll definitely say, because we could talk about this for
a long time.
Another
we can't,
3 weeks.
It's a lot.
I definitely just want to end this to all of my nurses, the entire nurse community, that if you want more is available to you. There is not a limit on more. The thing that I will tell you is to go and get your more, but to understand and recognize that your more is going to look different than Nicole's more, than Meisha's more, than everyone else's around you more. And understand that journey to getting more is just that, a journey. And you have to go through the journey, the good, the bad, the indifferent, and everything that's going to happen on that. And it's going to happen just like it's supposed to. Yes, sometimes we can make it a little bit more challenging,
right?
But it's going to happen like it's supposed to. But don't try to buck the journey. You can never, ever outdo or book the journey, because the journey is going to happen. And that's where we start to get so much frustration and all of these other different things that start to happen to us in the mental space, on top of the other things that we're already dealing with. And so my advice is that on that journey to more, just embrace the journey. I promise you, the journey is going to take you where you're supposed to go, because you're going to learn at every level of the journey. It's going to require a new version of you, a new evolved version of you that has learned something different, because you're continually going up. And so what worked at level 5 is not going to work at level 15 now.
Exactly. Or when you're on the journey, you got to remember, when she said journey, I automatically remember journey is a moving word. So when I heard the word journey, y'all, I immediately said, the message I really want to give you guys is don't stop. Journey.
That's good.
Journey, guys. The word journey is really telling you don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop new relationships. Don't stop the job hunt. Don't stop the business process. Journey means to keep going. Don't stop. And that's really the bottom line, and understanding that even the people you come in contact with, they're there for a season. Don't stop meeting new people. You got to turn the page.
This is good.
It is.
I loved it. So make sure you all definitely stay connected with the Nurse Power Network. You can follow us on all social media platforms at the Nurse Power Network. Meisha done put us on TikTok. Y'all know I'm not a TikToker, but we are now on TikTok too. Make sure you also go to our website, subscribe to our newsletter. Our website is www.nursepowernetwork.com. So make sure you also
subscribe
us there
to our podcast. Please leave us a review.
Peace.